I believe we have quorum, so.
Okay, let me go. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We begin with taking our roll call. Bear with me a second here. Magali Rodriguez. Raymond Camina.
Present.
Marisa Ramirez. Present. Elizabeth Flores.
Finally here.
Welcome.
Judy Gutierrez.
Present.
Richard Laudel.
Present.
Carlos Mata.
Hi, Rick.
Hello, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good.
How's everybody doing?
Carlos Mata.
I'm good.
No?
He hasn't taken his oath.
Okay. All right. Moving right along to page 2. Do we have a motion? I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to excuse members at this time?
I move that we excuse the members that had called to be excused.
We have requests for excuses for August, which we couldn't approve last month. So the request for excuse absence for August is for Marisa Ramirez and Mr. Raymond Camina.
I move to that effect for both of those members.
Motion carried. Moving on to page 2 for the approval of the minutes from the July 2nd, 2020 meeting that we had. Do we need to make any corrections or changes or anything like that?
If there are no corrections, additions, or deletions, I would like to move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
I would second, but I wasn't there, except that I did want to tell you that I have shared those minutes with my council member, and he's very grateful for the work that everybody does.
I
Thank
second.
you.
This is Rick Lauderdale. I second.
Motion carried to approval for the approval of the minutes for the July 2nd. Moving over to the public and citizens' comments, were there any comments submitted via email to the City of Laredo that we need to present?
None received.
Okay. And moving on to the review of the financial statements, which is on page 5.
Madam Chair, as you know, we have a decrease. We've been seeing, there's no financials, but I'm focusing on the hotel occupancy tax collections.
Yes.
Our finance department did not send us a financial, so we will add those to the next month's report. But on the hotel motel occupancy tax collections, we had adjusted our budget. So you will see that we adjusted the projection based on what we saw at the beginning of the pandemic.
Effective the March, right?
Exactly. So what we have been seeing, and as discussed last time with Ms. Magali Rodriguez, is we definitely see an increase in the occupancy. It is due to government contracts, a lot of the healthcare workers, some of the business travelers are coming back. And so that has helped our occupancy to be at a level that it's a little bit better than we expected. And so I got the report. I receive a report on a monthly basis, which is not, it's a benchmark report that compares us with other destinations. And in that report, we are seeing a consistent increase in the occupancy to where we are in the 50s right now, which is really good compared with other destinations and compared to where we thought we were going to be at this point.
What was the percentage, Eileen? I'm sorry. In the what?
We're in the 50s.
50s. Okay.
Yes. Hi, Magali. Good morning. For the record, Ms. Magali Rodriguez has been.
Hi, Magali.
Hi, Magali, how are you?
Hi.
And so we've
I
seen
think
consistent.
that you know that the occupancy with the government contracts that have been, I mean, and I know I heard yesterday at another meeting that I was at that this a person that was at the meeting had tried to reserve a room at La Posada for the weekend because their air condition went out, and they told them they were full. But
Yeah.
there's all government contracts, and
We've
so.
had a really good occupancy all this couple of months. We have all the healthcare staff that are helping in different areas. So the hotel has been blessedly very, very, very busy.
Yeah, bueno, that's great. I mean, you know,
We're doing
it's good
well.
for the business owners, you know, the owners of the hotels, and I mean, for our community, you know, it's also a blessing, although it doesn't help our hotel revenue any, but you
Right.
know, I guess in the future it will at some point.
There's
increase.
always a silver lining, right?
Exactly, and we believe that having the hotels having that business, it's going to help in the long run because we haven't seen closures like in other communities. We haven't seen that type of situation. Although there has been layoffs, we haven't seen any closure of any property here in Laredo. What we see is, and again, this is based on the conversation also from last month, is those government contracts. We had a similar situation when the hurricane was about to hit. We started getting calls of people that usually come this way as when they're evacuated. And we called every hotel, our staff called every hotel, and very few had availability. Very few properties. So we conveyed that information to our emergency coordinator, so he at the same time could convey the information to the Red Cross and all the other emergency coordinators from the area. But yeah, we definitely saw that there's very few available rooms, but it's you for the most part government contracts, healthcare workers, and a few business travelers that have returned.
My concern, Eileen, of course, is always the businesses that are closing. I mean, we have major stores, you know, that have been in Laredo for, gosh, Sears, you know, and Bell's, and all of the stores that are going to be closing, and you know, that's a big concern of also, you know, because we're losing major retailers.
Exactly, and we're gonna see that change when we finally have the opportunity to have people come back from Mexico. We'll see how that loss of those key attractions, those shops, affect us.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, in a long time ago, there were buses that were coming in from Austin, San Antonio, maybe further, but the ones that I remember the most were the ones from San Antonio and Austin, because there was always somebody I knew in there. And I would stop, they would stop on San Bernardo on their way out to Laredo, and I would stop and thank them for their visit and their shopping and pass out bags from the city and ask them to come back. I'm wondering if at some point in time, hopefully this vaccine will help, but what can we be prepared or be thinking about, or you all the experts, can you be putting together a thought process on how we can bring that back? And maybe not only from the US side, maybe from the Mexican side. And maybe what we do is we promise or we assure that we have a disinfected bus, that we monitor everybody that's coming in. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the expert on that, but to have it like safe travel, like you know that you're going to be coming to a clean hotel, and there's going to be a staff there that in the morning is going to take you shopping from 8 to 12 maybe on San Bernardo, because it's from the US side on San Bernardo, because it's it's all the stores are clean and they're open for you. And then maybe in the afternoon, you take them shopping somewhere else, you know, especially if they're Mexicans. But I think it would have to be, I mean, it's a big undertaking, but what else are we taking? I mean, what else are we doing, you know? And it might be a good thing to do for getting people that are afraid to travel but want to.
There's two elements there that we have been preparing, not to a specific bus tour for the safe traveler. But the two things that we've been doing is in Mexico, we keep our connection with the bus companies that have brought like Tours, people that have brought tours to Laredo consistently for the last, I don't know, 10 plus years. Every weekend he would be here. And so we've kept communication with those tour operators. And now the idea is after the violence in Mexico and all that happened, we lost all those tours. We lost Louisiana. I got here 10 years ago and I remember seeing some of the last groups from Minnesota. But I've heard a lot of those tours from Louisiana, from Oklahoma, from the rest of Texas. And so the idea with the new campaign is to go back to that, to kind of replicate a little bit of what we've done in Mexico, which is drive our message, drive our storytelling in the US and be the ones telling the story. So it goes in, it plays along with what you're saying, a plan of attracting that US visitor. And I think it's a great idea. The team has also been contacting every hotel to get an idea of what safety procedures they have so that we can put together information for the visitor on what every hotel is doing in order to keep everybody safe. So we're working on that. I think it's a great idea to give them an additional option. And the steps that we're doing now around that could help in getting a project like that up and running.
Yeah. And you call it Safe Travels. Yeah. What else?
Yeah, no, definitely. Very good. So I don't know if you have any questions on the tax collections. As I mentioned, we made an adjustment to our projection. We are slightly higher than what we had projected. So that's a good sign.
That's good.
You projected well, and I think that you always err on the side of conservative, you know, and hoping that you can, you know, hit those numbers. But when you exceed them, I mean, that is incredible, I think.
Yeah, the expectation, we based our expectation on what we were seeing in the rest of the states. And so it's good to know that we're not in the same place as other communities.
God, yes, you're right.
Reasons that, you know, we didn't think about, because who was to know this was all going to happen?
Exactly.
We would have other kinds of worries right now.
Definitely.
You're absolutely right, Betty. You know, I think that last year at this time, you know, we're looking for a bright and rosy, you know, year, you know, and, you know, coming up and look what we got. But, you know, who knows? You know, on all of this, there's got to be some bright future, something that, you know, we just need to be resilient and just be able to move forward. And that's what we do as a community. Laredo has always, you know, been resilient in that area. You know, everybody pulls together to be able to confront whatever it is that we have in front of us. So anyway, I think that your projections, you know, are correct. I mean, you know, you adjusted, you know, lower, and you know, now it's beginning to see that, you know, it's better than what you anticipated, which is, you know, congratulations to all of you.
You know, most of you don't know this because you're too young, but when the base closed in Laredo, we thought it was the end of the world, because that was a whole lot of people in one day that were going to be gone from, you know, 1 week to another, gone. I mean, thousands of people. And and all kinds of shopping was going to die. And so this is pretty much what happened with COVID-19, except that it happened in a little bit of a slow pace, not too much differently than with the base closing. Remember, Judy? And
Of course, and I remember, Betty, even after the base closing, there's some years after that, that we had that huge peso devaluation that everybody said it was going to devastate and close the downtown. And, we moved to something else. International trade came along and Laredo started building again. So, there's always something, that people answer the challenge and the call, when you're in that position, and if that you're down, something happens to the human spirit. We're fighters. We want to survive. So Laredo's in that spirit right now, and I have every reason to believe that we will come out of this stronger.
And and the best thing, as you well remember, is that government handed over to the business community, because the business community and the rest of Laredo, they know what to do.
Correct. You're absolutely right, Betty.
And all we have to do is listen as government. We listen and we adjust to how they want us to adjust and help them in areas that they want us to help. A lot of the Mexican trade community that I've been talking to, because some of the district that I'm running is, as you all know, is on the Mines Road. Not all of it, but a great majority of it. And they're saying that there's big companies, just like the commissioner was saying that Bell's and JCPenney and Sears is closing. There are big companies, big trade companies coming into Laredo, and they're taking the business away from the smaller companies. Now, what's happened is some of these big companies can't find workers because they're not being allowed to cross. They're paying $15 an hour. And so the company is saying, I can only pay 12 because I'm a small company. So from the 36 employees that I have, I now have 20 because the other ones left. And those people that are coming in are bringing a lot of people, like you said, business activity is picking up at the hotels. My husband said that yesterday or the day before when he was sitting outside waiting for me, he said that there were at least 15 small jets, business jets that landed at the airport. At least 15 that he counted. So there are people that have the means, don't want to travel commercial, and so they're bringing their business people that normally come once a week or twice a week. They're flying in commercial, not commercially, but private. So you're getting your heads in bed.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can see that change in the opening of the bridge soon. That's something
To let more people come.
So,
yes.
does anybody has any information about how trade is going on? I know it had slowed down due to the maquiles being closed.
We have I can get that information for you. We have the bridge posts their numbers daily on the website, but I can get a full report for next meeting or send it to you before that on the status of trade.
Yeah, because that's a great indication about, local economy, how everything is going in the local economy. Mm-hmm.
I know my housekeeper that owns a restaurant across the river, she would buy all her produce here, everything. She has an H-E-B over there, pero le sabía más barato aquí. So she would be a Walmart shopper, H-E-B shopper, wherever she saw the coupons. And then once or twice a week, she would come to my house just because she's been in my family since she was 15. So she would come to my house. And now I have to do the ironing. So you can imagine, nothing gets ironed.
Don't even go there, Betty. I mean, forget it.
Nothing gets ironed. Anyway, I bought this guy that you blow up, and he has little holes, and hot air comes out. You hang the damp shirt on it, and it irons it for you. It's really neat. You know how to get it.
Mayor, where did you buy it? What is it called?
I think I bought it on Hamaker, whatever Hamaker. What is it called? That store that has a little bit of every quick weird things. But I'll send you a picture. But I've got the guy all blown up like this, and I sent her a picture. I said, Chayo, estoy planchando. I got blown up. But anyway, think about the loss of income that we lost just from that one person, that was going back to her restaurant with all that, plus her private food that she ate. So multiply that by however many. Eileen, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yes, so we hope that can open pretty soon. And now that we have our branding, we're transitioning. If you want, I can move on to the report and
Yes.
a little bit more about that.
Moving over, if everyone's okay with the financials, we'll move on over to the activity reports for the month of August. We begin with our director, Eileen Thomas, on page 6.
Thank you. So as you can see, and as you saw with what we did with the rebranding, we have our new logo, we have our new brand, our new campaign for the U.S. And so this logo, this brand is gonna also transition into Mexico. And so you will see that in some posts for social media, we're already using that brand. So it's gonna be a transition on the other side too. We had a great event in the parade. We had about 20 vehicles that came by. We had great news coverage. I feel like that day I did, like that week, the only thing I was doing was interviews. Univision, Telemundo, KTNS, Televisa, LMT, Z93 were some of the media coverage that we got. And the idea was very well received. We got really good comments from not only the community, but also council, management. They all liked the whole package, the icon, the branding, the ads. And I don't know if I included it here, but I'm sure you saw it in the package. We have 2 different ads with 2 different messages. And so the first one that we're going to use right now, and it talks a lot to what you were mentioning about the resilience of Laredo. It's Here We Rise Together. And so this is in response to the travel situation that we have right now, the restrictions, COVID. We wanted to convey the message that we're in this together, that as a community, we're going to come back and we're resilient and we're strong. And once things get a little bit onto the normal or whatever we call it now, new normal, exactly. We'll move into the place to be together. Once we think that it's safe to invite people to our community, that things are a little bit better, then we move to the place to be together. And those are the two ads that you'll see. So if you saw your packet, you saw examples of both ads for both messages. And I don't know if any of you have listened to our podcast, the Hola Laredo podcast.
I have.
Very good.
Very
Hope you
good.
like it. Very good. Thank you. So this last one that's coming out soon is going to be all about food. I went on to my 10 favorite restaurants in Laredo, a little bit of everything. And so I hope y'all like it and share it with friends and family and everyone you know. It's in all the different platforms, so you can get it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you get your podcasts. And we are very excited. So even though COVID is happening, as you said, we have some silver linings and we have some good news. And one of those good news is a new flight to to Mexico City with Idoma. And so this will connect at the beginning because of that situation, and we don't want to promote any unsafe traveling or anything, but we are focusing more on the business traveler, which is at the end of the day, the bread and butter of our business during the week. So it's only logic that we focus on them. And we have the Ironman flight that's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The tickets are already on sale. The first flight is October 5th. And so we are very excited about this new flight that is going to connect Laredo not only to Mexico City, but to basically Mexico, Central and South America. From the airport in Mexico City, you have this wonderful connections to the rest of the Americas. And so this creates this great connection with Laredo. So we're very, very excited about that.
That's great.
I don't know if you have any questions on the rest of my report.
I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you. I love the new branding, the new logo. The whole package was beautiful. You guys did an amazing job. I know it was a lot of work and a lot of going back and forward, but at the end the results are wonderful. I think it gives a really nice, clean image, and I think you guys did amazing.
Thank you. And I have to also give kudos to our agency. Relic has been really great to work with. We feel that now we have an equal product. In Mexico, we have a great relationship with ADS, and now with Relic on this side for our U.S. market. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all the comments and the fact that everybody has a positive comment about the new brand. It's really good for us. Thank you.
Those coffee cups are beautiful. I love the coffee cups in particular. Yes. Yeah, very nice. Everything is really nice.
Oh, very good.
Very
nice.
Very good. Own.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, Eileen, thank you so much. Moving
Thank
on
you.
to the Assistant Director's Report, Joel Vasquez on page 8.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My report is on page 8. Last meeting, I did mention something about Border Olympics. I did wanted to clarify because previously we had a conference call and we actually had our first Zoom meeting. I sit in the board, but the cross country I had mentioned it was scheduled for August 29th. It was actually was postponed for October the 2nd or 3rd. They still haven't determined any of those dates, but I did wanted to clarify, like I said, originally that was an event that was going to be canceled. Actually moved it to October 2nd and 3rd. As of right now, all the other events look that they're going to take place, except the boys and girls basketball. So I just wanted to make that clarification. The other thing that I wanted to address was on the staff of the regional boxing tournament that we're going to have scheduled for October. Boxers that we were expecting 50 boxers and coaches, and obviously around 800 spectators. We submitted together with the organizer Tony Yanez, we submitted everything to the Laredo Health Authority. And unfortunately, due to the size, we were looking at doing the event at Unitrade Stadium, do an outdoor event, but due to the number of attendees and everything, it felt that it wasn't going to be a good event to do due to the numbers that are still high. So we're looking into either hopefully we could move it to later in the year, or probably being postponed for next year for 2021. So we were already had sent out the lead to the hotels. We were excited, but it looks like right now we're trying to see if we can move it later on for the year. There's a possibility that we probably will move it for next year. So those are the two things that I wanted to kind of highlight. And I'm not sure if you guys have any questions on my report.
Any comments or any questions that we have for Joel?
Thanks for working on that. It's a shame.
I know it's really hard right now during this time. It's, can't really have any large gatherings. We can't have big things. It's just for the safety for everybody. Both our groups coming in and our own, city safety.
Just by looking at all the activities that you have had, some are pending, some are canceled, some are moving forward or postponed. It just shows, the impact that is having our community. So it's a domino effect. I mean, every time you cancel something, it impacts, but there's quite a few that might be postponed for next year. So we have some things to look forward to. That's, that's taking the positive spin on it, because I do believe that this too will pass.
Yes. Yeah, but thank you, Joel, for all the efforts. We know you have worked hard in making this happen. But
And
Thank you, Joel.
let's stay on top of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joel. Moving on to the services coordinator, Veronica Gamboa, which is on page 10. Veronica?
Good morning. My report's on page 10, like the manager mentioned. Good morning to everybody. I am going to focus on the sister cities online. We are working on, moving to a virtual shopping to give, unfortunately we had to cancel with this pandemic, but to bring a little bit more fun joy of having our usual goods from Mexico that come every year in South America. We have already selected the logistics part of it, where it'll be a custom broker bringing into the city some of the goods that they're going to be offering, because we're going to be storing them here and shipping them from the US or from Laredo, in order for us to collect the tax revenue, the sales tax. So that will make it some benefit for the city. We just want to see, we're actually seeing this as a kind of evolving our sister cities, and this is obviously this is a year of trial and error, but we are looking to see if this could be something that stands and have it as a part of Sister City and the way it's supposed to be growing. So that's what we're moving forward to. And we already have we'll as soon as the cultural and art part of it, we are uploading videos of our vendors so people could kind of like navigate to what Sister Cities usually is, and know a little bit of the history of our artisans. So they are having a few. Are having some of the states that represented here when we do have the festival, bring us some video, send us some videos so they could see how they work on some of the pottery and all that great stuff that crafts that our artisans bring. So it's something very fun. It's very colorful, and that's what we're moving towards too. So it comes in parts. It's our first time doing something or online shopping, but we're trying to make it as fun and bring a little bit of light in these times. I don't know if you have any other questions on that.
That's great.
I just want to congratulate you, Vero, because I think it's important, the online aspect, and everybody is shopping online. I mean, let's say it the way it is. I know that I had never considered it, and then all of this just forces you to go and buy online. I mean, people buy their groceries online. So I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that you're doing, having this online, the virtual affair. And I think that nothing is going to compare it to, when people come to our community and, all of that, the impact, for hotels and everything else. But I think this is the next best thing. I mean, we are all watching more television. We're all not just glued, to our computers, and looking at all the sales that come across, and I know that a lot of my friends, and you talk to, and I know Betty does too, I'm sure, because, and most of us, I guess, are doing that. You watch all of these sales that come across your screen, on your phone. And I think that this particular online, I think, Sister Cities Festival, I think it's going to be a tremendous success, especially if you open it up to how are you going to promote that, Vero?
We're looking into, well, we're also working with marketing, and we're going to be pushing it out through our social media, as well as we're going to do some ad placements as well. We do have money to do that from what we were supposed to do this year to advertise. We're going to use the same placements that we did for Sister Cities now for our shopping online. So that's something that we're looking into promoting and having. As you mentioned, we're moving to doing everything very virtual, and also online shopping is a great thing for a lot of people that work and don't have time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe next year that we have our festival, we have curbside where people don't have to get off, and
Hey,
we can manage something
That's
else.
where everything's headed.
We're working towards moving forward and moving and getting a different audience that might not want to be in our festival, but they also enjoy our products. So I think Sister City is already moving towards being a bigger event. It's grown. I just have it for 5 years. I mean, we're actually, this would have been my fifth festival, but it's something that I think has potential to grow, and we want to not be complacent, move forward, and do something that it brings more to our city.
Yes. The good thing is that there's so many people that are so familiar with the sister cities that we already have the market. It's just being able to go out there, reach out to them and tell them, look, we're still here and we're going to do this. And now you can still buy what you always have come for, whatever. So I think as far as the market that we have as a city, I think is really, really beneficial in order for this to have a very positive impact, even though we would have to go online or however the sales come in,
Well, here's the deal. I think you may know, and I know Eileen knows, Laredo Main Street with its farmers market, we had all these vendors and they still had their produce. What are we going to do? So what we did is we went online and we started selling. And on Thursday is the cutoff day. And then on Saturday, you come and you park in front and they bring you your bag. And it's already paid for and everything, but all your produce is there. And I think it's very important. So it works is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Our sales have gone up and up and up every market. And what I wanted to tell you was that you're not only creating a continuity for the whole year for Sister City, but what you're doing as the middleman, if you will, middle person, is you're assuring that that product that they're getting from Mexico is legitimate and it's good and it's well made. So I may not be so easily moved to order something from out of the country unless I know the person that's promoting it. And I know that person is going to make it good. And so I think you all are doing something that is really, really, really going to help for the long term, not just for the short term, but for the long term. It's excellent. And tweak it as you go.
Exactly. That's exactly what when I had a conversation with Eileen, that's exactly what we were, looking into moving towards going big. It's like we're in Texas, go big or go home. So this is the start of it. So we're moving forward to make it something that stands the whole year. And obviously, we're not going to provide the 200 booths with over 10,000 items, but we are going to give the continuity all year for people to be able to purchase their items and have us on top of mind and wait for the festival to come and try the food, have the experience, see the cultural dances that we bring from the different representing states. I mean, it's just Sister Cities is just grown to be much more than just shopping. So I think that if we can, now that we're looking into doing the online part of it, I think it's just going to be much more waited for every year. So hopefully, this is even I know even after we retire and we're not here anymore, this still continues. It's something that I am very passionate for, and I know Eileen at the time, she's also it's one of her babies as well. So we both see eye to eye on this, and we always want to also conserve our artisans. There's very few in Mexico. Actually, that is something that is not continuing passing on generations and generations as before. So we're actually helping them out. They're very excited on the they just know about the culture and art. So the videos are super cute. The ladies get their makeup done. They fix their areas. So it's something that we're very excited to bring. Hopefully, as soon as it launches, we have that excitement as well for our audience. So I don't know if you have any other questions.
No, good job, Veronica. Thank you so much for your report. And moving on to the marketing manager, Selena Villarreal, which is on page 17. Selena.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Yes, my report is on page 17. And as you can see, my activity there, I do have the rebranding that took place. I do have some assistance that I was giving to PIO, along with some professional development that actually a lot of CVB team members took part of, which was the annual Texas Association of CVB's virtual conference. So that was something interesting, and just, to keep us abreast with what's going on within the state, what's going on with our tourism partners. And it's good to, bounce back ideas off of everyone and to see that, people are still doing good and we're trucking on. In regards to the rebranding, it takes a village, the way you all noticed. And, everybody did their part. I'm glad that I got so much positive feedback the way Eileen did. Had a couple of, contacts and media personalities let me know. They're like, well, I don't want to insult you. I don't want to say it insulting, but this is something that I would expect from San Antonio or from Houston or from Dallas. And they're like, but it came from Laredo. It came from our hometown. So I thought, I didn't take it as a jab. I knew what they meant. So it was nothing but positive. And of course, everyone wants to buy our promotional items. And that's something that we're looking at down the line, depending on availability of funds. We're glad that you all liked it, that it was well received. And, when the media comes back with positive feedback, that's just, the icing on the cake. The Mayor Flores, the way you mentioned, to keep on promoting and, just being a reassurance that Laredo's promoting safety, that our hoteliers, our restaurants, our retail shops are all keeping their customers top of mind. We're doing, digitally is we've got Beatriz and Ana Reina who are part of the marketing team, and we've been doing local giveaways. Also do a little bit of reinforcement that it's safe to go back to a restaurant. It's safe to go back to boutique shopping, where we've done gift certificates, where we did a little bit of a promo giveaway with our rebranding. And that's something that we do want to reassure people. There's nothing wrong with still supporting local and supporting small businesses, because we know that our locals are doing everything in their capabilities to keep their customers safe. And that's something that we will go ahead and keep on reinforcing in future messages. Aside from that, I'm looking at my report, and if y'all got any questions for me, it's good to see everyone virtually, and lots of virtual hugs sent out, and see when we can see each other in person, hopefully sooner than later.
Absolutely.
I have a question. The promotional items, are they available to buy online?
Not yet. That's part of what we're working. There's a project that we're working, and even we were figuring out curbside, and so Monica, Veronica, myself, we're trying to figure that out. So we will have. Right now, we have a lot of the promo from the previous brand, so we want to make sure we want to do a whole sale for that. And as soon as we have the new promo with the new brand and the new logo, we'll let you know.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, we've got a lot of requests, especially because a lot of the media got their mugs, their face masks, and everybody was taking pictures. And so we got a lot of calls asking if they were available for purchase. So that's coming, but we want to make sure that we get our other brand, our previous brand for sale first, and then we get the new one.
That's good.
I would also love to have items for sale at the hotel.
That would be great. Yes, we would love that. Yes, we'll get in contact with you. We would love that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Selena, thank you so much. Moving on to the marketing coordinator, Ana Reina Azarte. Hi.
Hi, good morning. I am. My report is in page 18, the digital marketing coordinator. Well, I have a lot. We attended the virtual conference, the JCBB virtual conference, as many of all of us. I'm trying to get my certification. And also I work with the PIO, with the IROMAR, I work for to make sure that all the digital part in the rebranding was in place, all the posts, the website, app, anything. So I was working on that also with another things to do, but I make sure that all be not perfect, because that's all the digital and all this new era with all all behind the social media, the virtual. That's very difficult for us. That's new for everybody. So we have problems with the internet, with connections. We have the videos, that's a new era. But for me, that's very interesting how this work. So we now all virtually or electronic. We have a rebranding, all virtual rebranding, all in social media. So that's, for me, that's very interesting, and I'm very happy. I'm very nervous too, because that's all the digital, all the website, all need to be ready electronic. So I'm working on that part. I'm working with IROMAR, with the campaign in Mexico, with the which prepare all the media buys and anything. And also I work with the ADS, also with Selena and anything. But we try to keep in mind of the Mexico, maybe in the Mexico market, that we still here, we're waiting for them. We love them, and we want to, when the restriction lifts, they can come to shopping or anything. We receive a lot of message on social media that they say, we need to go shopping. I need clothes. I need food. I miss the food. I miss anything. So that's
a good sign.
Yeah,
that's a good sign, for people
Yes, they really want to come back. They really want to. One person said, "You don't have a special permit. That's only for shopping and food, like eat at restaurants." And that's for the healthiest first. The health for all for the Mexican, for the US. We need to be healthy, and then we have all these measures for you. So
good job.
Very interesting.
Really good.
Hopefully on the vaccine.
Hopefully, yes, soon.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just don't want to be the first one to get it.
I'm with you, Mayor, because I don't know.
I'm gonna wait for a few people to try it before.
We'll wait a little bit, yes.
You don't want to be the guinea pig, right?
And watch them send it to us first.
Laredo.
Of course, we're 90% Mexican American, so minority.
Hijo.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, we get a good response for the flight from Mexico City. We had a good response from the people in social media. They're really interested in that and happy for travel to Laredo, and also from people travel to Mexico, because that's a connection to Mexico, Guadalajara, and another place in Mexico. So we have a good response in that part too.
May I ask about the flight that is coming to Mexico City and from Mexico City here? Are they going to be able to come and go shopping? Because, I mean, there seems to be, some confusion there, and I'm not totally clear as to what those flights are. Just business flights come in, out, stay, I don't know.
So the restrictions flying are not necessarily the same that the restrictions by land, but we still want to focus on business travelers first, just because the medical authority has pointed us to make sure that we don't tell people come and we don't want to go against what the medical authorities say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Have to be in quarantine
So what
for-
is the medical authority saying these days?
So we want to make sure. Right now we have the local current order that says no gatherings. People still trying to get people to stay at home as much as possible.
Curfew.
Curfews, all that. And so when we did the press conference for the flight, that was something that obviously we want, and especially us, right? We want everybody to come, but we want to make sure that they come in a safe way, that they know what restrictions are in place here in Laredo. And so we have promotion of the flight in Mexico City, not only on the business side, but also the leisure, but it's more to inform people that now we have this flight. And when we keep saying, when things get better, we're here. We want you to come and enjoy Laredo as much as possible. But right now things are still, especially because we're coming down from a big surge, right? We just, we're seeing the numbers go down, but we want to make sure everything is under control before influenza season. So that's a key point that health department and the medical authority are focusing on, is making sure that we get the numbers in a good place before influenza season comes, so that there's not a clash of those two diseases at the same time.
Yeah, it's under control.
I wanted to ask because what I've read from the CDC is that if you travel out of the country or come into the country, you have to quarantine
Yes.
14 days over there and 14 days back. So is that going to mean that the business person that flies, and usually would only fly for the day, I guess, Rick, right, to do business, do they have to be quarantined before they go into the Laredo area?
So one of the things that I wanted to mention, and Aeromares has this service, is they test you before they get on the plane in Mexico.
Oh,
So they will test people before they go on the plane. They have those rapid tests, and they test you before you get on the plane. If you're positive, obviously they tell you, please go home. And they actually, I think they let you change your ticket. They're being flexible. If you're positive, please don't get on the flight. We'll get you your ticket for a different date after your 14 days. And so that will allow for us to be even safer in terms of the people that are coming or the people that went and then came back.
yeah. Rick, right? They travel just one day, go do business and come back?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've done that plenty of times, but I've wanted to do that plenty of times, but it's very impossible, especially with not having those direct flights. My main corporate office is in Mexico City, so for us that's going to be great. And many other customs brokers have their main headquarters in Mexico or Querétaro or the area around Mexico City, and it'll be used a lot. But with this pandemic, on a regular basis, normal times on this pandemic, I don't know. But I'm glad that they are testing, though. I don't think I've ever heard, or I've heard yet, that any American Airlines or United or Southwest or anybody's doing any test, of course, because of different.
And they should.
Yeah, they should, but they would come under a lot of heat because of I take a test type of person. I don't need a test to get on the plane type of attitude. But no, that those flights for especially for this business. But the problem that I have is it's happened before, but I don't remember it happening with Mexico City. It was just with Monterrey, right?
Flight?
Yes.
Yes. So we had about less than 10 years ago, but 6 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
We had a flight with Monterrey. What happened there is that timing of the flight, because I took that flight several times. You basically, and I went, for example, I'm going to talk about my experience. I wanted to go to Monterrey. So basically I had to leave here. I would lose almost a day when trying to get just to Monterrey. And then when I tried to go to Mexico City, I was going for a wedding, for example, on Saturday. And I basically had to leave here midday on Friday. And then I got to Mexico City like around 9 because I had to change planes in Monterrey and then get to Mexico City. I got to Mexico City by 9, went to the wedding, and then the plane back, I had to leave Mexico City like at 7 in the morning on Sunday. So the schedules that they had didn't quite work for connections to Monterrey or to Mexico City or to the rest, because you want to get to Mexico City at a time where you can still connect to other places, because a lot of people go on vacation to Cancun or they go to Guadalajara for business. So you still want to get to Mexico City at a time where you can make those connections. One of the things that I'm really excited about the flight with Aeromar is they were listening. They heard what we needed, and even though we can't have a flight every single day, we have a flight Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So for example, if we're going for work, you can go on Monday, you have enough time all Monday to work, you have all Tuesday, and then Wednesday you still have time because the flight leaves in the afternoon. So you have good 2 to 3 days to work there, or if you have connections, you can do that. If you're going for the weekend, or if they're coming for the weekend, there's also Friday. They can come here on Friday, they can stay for the weekend, and they come back home on Monday early morning with enough time to do a late arrival to your office, or get there a little bit late, but you still enjoy the whole weekend. So we have really good, I think this schedule is going to work very well. And there's way more connectivity at the times that they have the flights. So people are going to be able to arrive and get connections to many different places. And they will be able to come to Laredo and have a couple of days to enjoy a good weekend to enjoy, and then go back home. So I think those elements are going to help us. The fact that compared to taking the flight from, for example, Nuevo Laredo, because this flight is 2.5 or 2:45 compared to maybe 1.5 or 1:45 from Nuevo Laredo. The difference is that I tell everybody, once you get to Mexico City, because Aeromexico doesn't have, the Mexico City airport is just
enormous,
but they're packed. They already have all the gates occupied. They already have everything. So when you fly with Aeromexico, you get there and you have to wait 45 minutes to an hour on the tarmac just to get assigned a gate.
Mm-hmm.
So with Aeromar, you don't have that issue. So the 2.5 hours that you're going to spend on the plane that's it. Because you get there, they have their own hangar, they have their own gates. They're not fighting with 25 other planes to get not even a gate, to get a staircase to be able to get on a bus to get to the terminal. So
so all prefer to and make it a longer trip than have to either drive across to Nuevo Laredo or be driven across to Nuevo Laredo, or have to drive across to Nuevo Laredo and leave my car at the Nuevo Laredo airport, or walk across and take a taxi.
Yeah. Forget it.
No, so it was a nightmare. Last time that I went, thank God I still have family in Nuevo Laredo, and they went and picked me up at the bridge and took me to the airport. I didn't want to take my truck and leave it at the airport. I'd come back and it won't be there.
So we have a lot of advantages now having a direct flight. We can go back and forth, business, and hopefully very soon leisure. And so we're very excited about this.
The main thing was that a lot of people come here to Laredo on tour. Like the business people in the industry come to Laredo, then they go to Mexico City, then they go see several ocean ports, or maybe they come back to Monterrey, or maybe whatever. But a lot of people come here to Laredo, and here's the last guy. The last guy that came flew into San Antonio, drove into Laredo. The very next day, drove out back to San Antonio to grab a plane to go to Mexico City. And then within Mexico, he traveled and then came back to Mexico City, flew back to San Antonio, and then went back to his home city. So it'll help a lot. But I think that the Midwest and like all the import export, and like I think that if there's any marketing that you're gonna do, I think it should be focused on the import export for that flight in Detroit, or in for the Michigan area, the Ohio area, Midwest, where a lot of people come. Most of the people that come here for business is from Michigan.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
I've been on the plane and I've asked them where they're from. Everybody's from Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, this is the port of where all auto industry goes through. So they come here one time or another. They know what Laredo is, where it is, and they also know that the air flights here are not that great. So this would be good to present, or to show, or to get with some sort of Michigan Chamber of Commerce, or to be able to put it on a flyer for all their business people, or there's lots of industry of associations in Michigan that maybe the city could tap into and just say, hey, like I'd like to buy an ad in your monthly flyer so that I can advertise our flights to Mexico now, and so on.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's great information. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Anna, thank you so much for your report.
Sorry, I have one thing. I have a call right now at 9:40. Do we need a vote on anything? Do we have a quorum if I leave?
Just our next meeting.
We do have quorum. Right now we have 5 people. If Mr. Camino is still on the phone. Perfect. Yes, we still have quorum.
Okay. I have to bow out. I have a call right now in 2 minutes, but thank you all, and it was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Stay safe.
You too.
Okay. Moving over to the Monterey office report with Samuel Jimenez and Selena Rodriguez. It's on page 22.
Hi, good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a report from Casa Laredo, from Selena Rodriguez and Samuel Jimenez. I also have a phone call, but I will cancel it so I can, talk about our report. Just kidding. Well, as you all know, we always try to promote Laredo in different areas, and we are very excited here in Monterrey because some of the events and venues we used to promote the city are coming back. One of them is golf tournaments. So there was a golf tournament at Montreal, Coahuila, where we handed bags with Laredo souvenirs, and also the Laredo branding was present throughout the golf course. So this is very important for us events, tournament, conferences coming back slowly. We would like them to already be available again, but they're coming back slowly due to the new measures of healthy. So we are working on the events and the venues that are already open. So we're very excited and happy to promote once again, at least with golf courses, because as you know, we always promote the city and the different attractions the city has. And one of them, on one of the attractions we always promote is the Max A. Mandel golf course, municipal golf course. Okay, we always invite these players to visit the city and play the Max. We also participated in virtual conferences. One of them was IBTM Las Americas. They had a conference called Humanizing the Change. And we also were invited to SEAL Consultants Conference. They were talking about freight transportation. And we're sure this is very important for us to be part of these conferences, especially with the freight and transportations topics. Okay. I would also like to highlight that we're working with Margarita de la Torre, even though we know right now, there's a restriction to cross to Laredo. We're already working, being positive that by the end of this year or by the beginning of next year, everything is going back to normal. So we're already working with Margarita de la Torre to form universities groups of students to take the seminar in logistics in Laredo. Also working with SEAL consultants. They are having, they also think positive, as we all do, about on December, once hoping that the bridges are already open, they will have their seminar as they've been having an annual seminar on December for the last, I think, 8, maybe 10 years. They have a seminar in logistics with businessmen from Monterrey. So we're already working with Edgar from SEAL Consultants. So this seminar can happen on December. Okay. I would also like to mention that we started a new activity that, as Reinar Sate mentioned, as for us, also kind of nervous because it's very new to us. This is the first time, I think, for Selene and myself. Never in my life. I think Selene is going to be her first time as well. Never recorded a video, not even live, but we started a series of a Facebook Live to Monterrey audience through the Visit Laredo Facebook page. We had our first Facebook Live last on September the 1st, and we're talking about Casa Laredo and the services we offer to Monterrey and to all Mexico City. Okay, we are going to have a series of, September is going to be once a week. We're going to have a Facebook Live, short videos, short videos with specific information, because even though the bridges are closed, we want to be we want to be in the mind of people, and we want Laredo to be heard and to be seen by Regios. They don't forget about Laredo. Even though we are close, we really appreciate their preference when coming to Laredo for shopping, for leisure, for business, whatever the need they have to come to Laredo. We want to be present. As you know, we all know, we have competition. The city, I won't mention it. It starts with an M and finishes with Calen, So, but we want to be, even though like I said, even though the bridges are closed, we want to be in the people's minds, to talk about Laredo, Laredo to be seen, in the most events we can. And so this is new for us. So let's hope we can make an impact on people's minds. And once the bridges are open, they're willing to go back to Laredo. And that's what I would like to highlight from our report, like I said, is from Casa Laredo, from Selena Rodriguez, and myself, Samuel Jimenez. I don't know if you have any questions.
No, but you're doing a wonderful job. And I know it's your first time. I bet it was fabulous.
We were kind of nervous, to be honest. The Facebook Live, you can watch it. I would really appreciate that if you watch the Facebook Live. Feedback is always well received. Okay, that was our first video, but we made like how many, Selena? Like, let's say 7 or 8 tests before the Facebook Live. Okay, but I think it was well to be the first one, and I would really appreciate you go to watch it. And like I said, feedback is always well received.
Well, I want to congratulate you, for coming into the first time. And of course, there's a certain nervousness attached to things that you're going to be doing, because nobody wants to fail and nobody wants to be criticized. Nadie, believe me. But, there are things that you learn from, when you do it. I mean, I know, and, I've been watching some videos on my Facebook that I've never even considered. And there are these women in Mexico that are cooking their Rosalba, the cocina de mi rancho. I had never even thought of, and there are these women, and they are a success. So you can't be afraid, and you're nervous, yes, but you have to be able to, to go into it, and you're not ever going to know if you don't try.
Exactly.
It is a challenge. It is scary. But I think all of us know that if you don't try, you will never be able to know. So congratulations. I know that you're going to be a tremendous success because you're an optimist like we are. We have a certain optimism, about our community, about our working with Monterrey and with you all that are so optimistic. I guess we need to keep on going. We can't stop. And then going into this kind of virtual, that who knows? We knew that this was going to happen. Pero los felicito. I truly, los felicito.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
Good
like you
job.
said, the first time we're kind of nervous, but who knows? Right now we have time. Okay. Right now we are nervous, but who knows? Maybe on December we're gonna be on national CNN talking about Laredo.
Yes, absolutely.
I tell you, that is just
That's
great. You go for it.
Name of the Facebook page, Samuel?
It's
sorry?
Visit Laredo. It's on the Visit Laredo page.
This-
Laredo text.
Yeah. Facebook, Visit Laredo page. Right.
Well, Samuel and Selena, thank you so much for your positive feedback, your constant positive ways of working. And, even though we're sitting in 2 different countries, we're just neighbors. So,
Yes.
we're always just a phone call away, and we feel that just with our meeting here. So I congratulate both of you for such a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have any other comments? No? We're moving on to the discussion and announcements. We have our next meeting date of October the 1st. Is everyone okay with that date?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have any announcements?
I would just like to encourage. I would just like to encourage everybody. If you're not registered to vote, register. If you haven't answered the census, please, and encourage your friends, your neighbors, your parents, your sisters, your brother, to everybody answer the census question, because it is so important. As the mayor knows, that how we get our funding, and so we need to be able to talk to. Everywhere that I go, the store, and I don't go out a lot. Wherever I go, I ask them, "Did you fill out your census?" No. Well, you need to do it, and then you tell them why. But this is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you all or encourage you to do that.
Yes.
You know, to fill out your census and
Being able-
send it in. And
being
also,
able to vote, being able to vote is having a voice, and that's where people sometimes don't remember that. So by having a voice, you can make a change. So
Remember that we all of us here pay our taxes, right? Our
yes,
income taxes. Or the IRS would come looking for us. So if we send all this money to the federal government and the federal government sends it to the state government, and then we don't get our fair share because we didn't do that next step, the census and the voting.
the voting, yes.
They don't care that you don't, that they're not going to say, oh, 90% of Laredoans paid their taxes. No, they're going to
I
say
don't care.
90%
They don't care.
of Laredoans didn't vote. 90% of Laredoans didn't put in their census. That's what they're going to say.
And they don't, no tienen que tener miedo. They cannot, for the census, they're not going to go after you. I mean, there's no personal information
There's
there.
too many of us. There's too many of us.
That's right.
And I wanna mention that the city is doing a giveaway. So if you have, that's an additional motivation for people that haven't filled out the census. So if you have anybody that's like, no, I don't want to fill the census, and they surely don't get the idea, at least do it to win a TV or a Keurig coffee maker, or we have several prizes. So the city's doing a giveaway. It's on the main page of the city website. Or people can also go to cityoflaredo.com/census giveaway. So we're trying to encourage people to fill out their census. And as you mentioned, it's one of the key things that we, census and voting, that's our homework for this next couple of months.
There it is, Facebook.
Yay.
Wow.
Very good.
Samuel, very good.
And remember, it's only 60 days for election day. 60 days. And
Thank
early
you.
voting starts October. We have 3 weeks of early voting. We have to push, the voting. I mean, we need to get at least 70,000 people to vote this year. Mayor, we need your help. And everybody else's.
I'm here. I would love to see people vote.
Thank you. That's all I have. That's all I'll get off the soapbox, but
Okay, well, thank you so much for that.
Miss Marisa, I just wanted to give a little push here.
Of course.
If y'all haven't heard the Hola Laredo podcast, I highly, encourage you to download, listen. Like Eileen mentioned, it is on Spotify. You can go ahead and download it via the Apple App Store. And we have a couple of episodes already in the can. We are working on getting the promotional graphics so we can go ahead and push it, but we do want to build a little inventory first. And the spots that Eileen already has taped, I've caught up on them. They sound great. I think this is just a great opportunity to promote Laredo and to give others that aren't familiar with Laredo a personal feel. And when that story is being guided by, a Laredoan, and, Eileen is a Laredoan, even though I know she's from Mexico, you're a Laredoan. And, she lives here, she breathes here, she buys here, she supports here, she works here. So that story is coming off, very, very genuine and very personable. So it is called the Hola Laredo podcast. And, I want to say they're 30 minutes, Eileen. I think that's correct.
They're 30-minute podcasts.
Yeah, 30-minute segments. You can, sometimes I caught up sometimes listening in the car on my drive to the HEB or on my drive home. But I thought they were great. She's touched on history. She's touched on the golf course. She's touched on shopping. Laredo has much more to offer, and there will be more sessions, more segments coming. But, if y'all can help us, with some feedback, some comments, and, tell your friends. That's, my little point of view. And of course, vote. do the census. And if you want to go ahead and share your census confirmation with me, I'd really appreciate it. The city is offering city employees an incentive of a day off if we submit 10 friends and their confirmations that they took. So I think I'm almost done.
Okay.
Have a great day, and it was really good seeing everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Selena.
Selena.
The ones
That's
that
really nice.
Robert Eats is doing are also very good. I don't know if you all have seen them on Facebook and on
Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
He's done tours of all the parks. He was touring the parks this weekend. Yeah, I was watching.
He's very natural.
Yes, he did one park per district. It was really good. I had a chance to watch the series.
I got it.
Very good. I was like, I recognize that voice. Very good. Thank you all so much.
So
really
anything
appreciate all
else
of your
that we want to talk about or anything? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn our
We adjourn.
I second.
motion passed? I don't have my little gavel deal. I'll hit the table.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.